Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. Your favorite sports show on the net. This is Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. I'm tonight's host, as always, your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all the loyal listeners and followers out there. Big show tonight, fresh off the heels of the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny performance. A lot of movement in the NBA with the trade deadline, NBA All-Star game coming up. We're going to get into all that tonight. But first, I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves, and I'm going to start with my guy on the top left.
What up, man? Scruff Skywalker, a.k.a. Scruff, a.k.a. the co-founder of Good Ass Sports. You know what I'm saying? It was a Super Bowl weekend this weekend. And, you know, it was, to me, I wasn't very impressed. So I'm excited to talk about how unimpressed I was. Go ahead.
All right, keep it. It was a bit of a boring game if you're not a defensive guy. The halftime performance seemed to knock a lot of people's socks off for good or for bad or for worse, I guess, depending on what side of the aisle you're on. Keeping it pushing though, bottom right.
Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer. And yeah, man, definitely an underwhelming Super Bowl. I think that's 2 in a row of bad games in the final game. I'm not feeling it, man, but I got a lot of thoughts.
I enjoyed the last one very much, though.
Yeah, I bet you did, stuff. Yeah, man, it was the game was so boring. The Bryce had to break out the Wizards hat. Already switching gears to the NBA after them trades. I see. We're gonna get into that though. Last but certainly not least, top right.
It's your boy, and the Latino delegation is still celebrating our Sunday performance of Bad Bunny. But how you fellas are doing? I got this. If anything, you know what kicked me into the game? I don't know if you guys do this, but certain jobs have pull with the boxes with the scoring. So I'm celebrating the win off my girl. She won the last box, and she made a nice little chunk of change on some, like, what was the last 9 and 3? Random number to hit.
Okay. All right, man. So let's go ahead and jump right into it then, man. Like I said, the Super Bowl was a little bit underwhelming. As we all know, the Seahawks won. It wasn't particularly close. It started to get real ugly towards the end. Patriots struggled to move the ball. We talked last week. I believe me and T were comparing the Seahawks defense to the Legion of Boom, LOB 2.0, so to speak. You Scruff and Bryce, you guys gave a lot of pushback on that. But after this dominated performance in the Super Bowl, how are you feeling about the Seahawks defense?
I'm kind of feeling the same way I felt going in. I feel like they've got a great defense, but it's not Legion of Boom. I mean, hell of a defense though. Hell of a defensive coach too. Got to give Mike McDonald a lot of credit for building that, making that defense that dominant in just one season. Then you got to give John Schneider credit too. I mean, those picks from, I guess, like from 2022 onwards, those defensive picks have all hit. A lot of homegrown talent over there, so it's impressive. But when we start talking about Legion of Boom, just too many household names, bro. Too many guys that are, Hall of Famers on that defense. And don't get me wrong, early in this Seattle Seahawks run with this defense, so maybe it ends up being a few HOFers on there. But when we talk about 3 Hall of Famers, in my opinion, easy on that Seahawks defense, when we talking about Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner, right? Like that right there is a foundational pieces for a football team. I do see a bright future ahead. I love Nick Emmanwori. I feel like Nwosu on that edge and Byron Murphy in the middle are both great players. So we'll see how it plays out. But Legion of Boom, that's an all-time defense that had a nice long run in the NFL. That's one of the top Ds.
No, that's a great point right there, Bryce. The main difference between this unit and the Legion of Boom is the Legion of Boom had a run, a nice long run, as you put it. But Scruff, Bryce also mentioned Mike McDaniel being one of the top defensive minded coaches. I know you're familiar with them. That's kind of my point. Do you think he's gonna, he's put together this defense? Do you think that they'll have that longevity, especially building off that dominant Super Bowl?
I do. I do. The Legion of Boom thing is tough, man. It's always tough when you're comparing it from the things that happened in the past because those guys already got their credentials. These guys haven't really gotten theirs yet. They just got their first credentials on Sunday, right? So definitely a good defense. They definitely strapped the Patriots down. I was sitting here trying to figure out what the story was. Bryce touched on it though. The real story of this is like it's really twofold. Is the GM for executing in the draft for the last several years. They turned that franchise over very quickly. They overhauled the entire roster after Russell Wilson and them, right? And then they kind of flipped over and they had Geno Smith hold it down while they were kind of rebuilding it. And they were actually still pretty good when they were rebuilding. And then they bring in Sam Darnold and ultimately they ended up taking it to the next level, right? But the real secret sauce is Mike Macdonald. Get his name right. You call him Mike McDaniel. You don't even know his guy's name. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL, though. Baltimore is, as G would say, they're punching the air in Baltimore because they let that man out the building. You know what I'm saying? And then they passively aggressively fired John Harbaugh because they was mad they let this man out the building. And now this man done won a Super Bowl. So how you feel in Baltimore? You feeling mighty, mighty stupid because you let one of the best young defensive minds in the game walk out the building. And guess what? That Ravens defense walked right out the building with them. And they went over there to Seattle because that's literally the type of defense that they playing, but way better because the GM just really put together a great roster. So, great defense. They're going to be around for a little bit, young defense. And I think Mike Macdonald is going to be it's early for me to say this, but he's going to be stepping into that next, like the way that people look at McVay on offense, people are going to look at Macdonald on defense. Like he's going to be one of the up and coming great coaches. He might, it's very early, but a guy named Mike Tomlin just stepped down, right? He might have Tomlin type of aura and credentials. 10 years from now, let's take a look at what Mike Macdonald has done, because he's one of the brightest minds in the game.
I agree, Scruff. I think Mike Macdonald has been extremely impressive, and I think he is one of the next big time coaches in the league.
It's there hasn't been Super Bowl. G. It's based off of his own resume, his own credentials, his reputation. I've known about his reputation for years.
I want to say Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick's defensive-minded head coach and won multiple Super Bowls.
Okay, whatever, bro.
One thing
I'm not gonna cap him to like mediocrity. Not for nothing.
No mediocre about Mike Tomlin, my guy.
All you do is just win like 9 to 10 games and don't get past the first round in the playoffs.
You're getting caught up in the wrong shit, bro. The bottom line is Mike Macdonald is going to be one of the best young coaches. He is one of the best young coaches in the league. And he's going to be one of the best coaches in the league, period. He's going to win more.
See, that's the thing I'm not sure about, bro.
No, that's a bold statement.
Yeah, I feel like the only defensive head coach we've seen really run him off is Bill Belichick, at least in recent memory. And that's the GOAT, right? To me, defense changes too much year to year, bro. Like the best defenses, like offense to me is way more sustainable than defense in the NFL, bro. Where like, what was the Seahawks defense ranked last year? Really not sure. Really
I'm willing to bet pretty high.
Possibly, but it's always a couple defenses that are in that top 5, top 10 range that were not there the year before. Typically, the offenses, man, that are nice tend to stay nice. I'm not
14th last year.
I'm not so sold on like Mike Macdonald as this like next, Bill Belichick level coach or like the next like multi-Super Bowl winner. I'm not sure I'm seeing that. I don't know. But I do like him though. I do think he's a great coach.
I'm sold on him for a lot of the reasons Scruff said, but also to your point, Bryce, Macdonald's the only successful defensive minded head coach that I can remember in a while. Like Bill Belichick's obviously the GOAT. Wade Phillips had a decent run as a head coach. But I feel like we see more defensive minded head coaches fail in the league nowadays. I mean, some of them get second shots, Robert Saleh, but a lot of those guys seem to flame out. Dude in Atlanta comes to mind. Hopefully Dan Quinn turns it around this season, but he comes to mind. So you don't see a lot of
The
defensive-minded head
Texans head
coaches.
coach.
Even I mean their offense has struggled so bad that I would say D'Amico Ryans is probably on the hot seat going into next year, right? Like something's got to give. So I think a lot of credit needs to be given to McDonald for being able to do what he did with the Seahawks, with Geno Smith, and then now even with Sam Darnold getting all over the Super Bowl and winning. Because you just don't see a lot of success from the defensive side of
See,
it.
a lot of those guys you named though are like former players. No disrespect to the former players, but you're taking more of a. It's like the archetype thing for the coaches. You're taking more of a players coach angle with that. With Mike McDonald, it's not a players coach angle. What you're talking about is a tactician.
Yeah, no, I agree. But keeping it on the Seahawks and McDonald, man, what do you guys think he does with one Sam Darnold? Because we could talk defense all day, but we all know the most important position on the field is QB. So now that Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion, do you think is he the future of the Seahawks? Do they need to look for another quarterback still, or is he the guy for the next 4 or 5 years? Bryce, I'm gonna start with you on that.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say they need to look for a quarterback after winning the Super Bowl. I think they would be foolish to do that. End up like the Vikings, but I think what you do is you give Darnold the extension, but you still look for somebody. You look for that successor. Maybe it's Jalen Milroe down the line. Who knows? But dog, I said it on the show before this one. I was like, Rome, I think you asked the question. You were like, does winning what does it look like, for you to give Sam Darnold all the credit, basically, was essentially the question. And I said he had to be the reason. I want to see him be the reason. And Kenneth Walker got Super Bowl MVP. All right. And second runner up was Jason Myers, in my opinion. So I'm still not totally sold on Darnold personally, right? If it were me, I wouldn't give him no big extension. I'd make him play out that damn contract he got right now. They talking about giving him an extra $200 million contract extension.
Yeah, I think there's talks of an extension. He's technically signed for another 2 seasons already, though.
Yeah.
See, I'll be inclined to let him play that shit out at least one more year, man. But I don't know. If they can lower the cap hit, I guess it'll make sense. But
yeah. I don't know. I'll tell you what. My Mike McDonald take. I'll tell you this: if they sign him to an extension, it lowers my chances, I think. So I'll tell you this, man, about Sam Darnold. I'm not going to take anything away from him. They won the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL. He proved that he is a starter, right? He proved that he is a capable starter. He proved he could take his team to the promised land. Well, actually, he proved that he can manage the game in the promised land. He didn't prove that he could take them there. And if you ask me, there's about 20 quarterbacks in the NFL that could have won that game. So I wasn't that impressed by Sam Darnold. I wasn't impressed by any of the quarterbacks in the game, to be honest. They both suck.
I hear what y'all are saying, and G, I'm gonna let you hop in a second. I'll say this about Sam Darnold. I'm a big Sam Darnold supporter, but I do think a lot should be said about the OC. He just went to the Raiders. Kubiak, Clint. I think a lot should be said about the job that he did with that offense and Sam Darnold. I would also let Sam Darnold play out the season next year before I gave him another contract, just to see what he does with another OC. Because Kubiak was in his bag all season long. Clint did a lot with 2 mediocre tight ends, in my opinion. And next year he's going to the Raiders with Bowers. So look for the Raiders to take a leap, at least on offense. I'm not saying they're going to do nothing crazy, but they should be more competitive on offense for sure, just off him being coach. But G, man, what were your thoughts on the Seahawks winning and Sam Darnold? Would you extend him, or do you think he's still, Sam Darnold?
I mean, if you're Sam Darnold, if you're Seattle when it comes to Sam Darnold, I mean, this is what you paid for, right? When you did those contract negotiations, this is what you wanted, right? I'm sure you signed your next. If you're Sam Darnold, next time you ask for more incentive for winning 14 games, for winning a Super Bowl. You know, if you're Sam Darnold, this is what you do. But if you're Seattle, you got to be impressed about what you guys went through. Offensively, all year, your offense has been on point. Sam Darnold threw for over 4,000 yards. And look, JSN is legit in conversation of top 10 receivers this year. The year before, you talked about him, but no one really thought about him being a top 10, let alone now. After this year, you're looking at him like a top 5 receiver. And look what happened to JJ over there with the Vikings. Like, you thought that it was him that carried Sam Darnold. And then you see him with McCarthy over there, like, struggling with the Vikings. Like, shit. Like, you're Seattle, this is what you paid for when you signed Sam Darnold. This is what you wanted. We just needed a QB that doesn't lose games, that manages games. And if you're Sam Darnold, you did what you were supposed to do, not lose the Super Bowl, and made sure you kept them in the game if need be. And then look, it was what 4 kicks before they even scored a tub. Even the commentator said like, "Yo, with the 12, when it was the 4th kick, like, yo, call this game over. Like, the Patriots ain't winning this shit." And like I said, like, yo, if you're this kind of defensive mind coach, this is what you wanted. You wanted your defense to kill the game. This is why they say defense win championships. You wanted your defense to rule the whole game and your offense not to kill you. And literally, Sam Darnold did what he was supposed to do. If you're going to pay him more, you make it in incentives so that way it doesn't kill your salary. And shit, you should have negotiated a better contract.
Nah, paying him more is a bad look, man. You got to pay that defense. The sooner you pay the quarterback,
but no one said pay him more. I said incentives. But this is what, like, you hearing what you want to hear. Like, I said incentives. You give him incentives.
So I hear what you're saying, but what's actually going to happen is they're going to pay him more, bro.
But they're not going to pay him more.
Okay. Well, that's honestly a good point, man. Because like you brought up JSN, somebody brought up JSN. He's going to be looking to get paid. Yeah, one of the craziest seasons in a minute for a receiver. So he's definitely going to be looking to get paid. Kenneth Walker was Super Bowl MVP. He's not going to take a pay cut. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold being the QB, those guys are always looking for money, and as they should be. He touches the ball every play. And then we just talked about the defense. I'm comparing him to Legion of Boom, so you're going to want to keep those guys together in some capacity. You're not going to be able to do it all. So what the GM does over the offseason is going to be crucial. So I'll pose this question to the group. Who would you guys, if you had to rank who's most important to the Seahawks potentially being a dynasty, do they need to keep that defense together, Sam Darnold or JSN? Like, who's the most important piece to the Seahawks team?
You just put the whole 11 players on one piece is kind of a crazy question. But then I guess it's the defense. But like, yeah, I guess. But yeah, you got to keep the defense together as much as you can. But if it was talking about specifically about certain players on the defense, you got to keep those boys. You got to kick the dude with the Eminyara or whatever his name is. And then you got the edge rusher. He go crazy. But yeah, JSN for real. Honestly, there's about 7 or 8 people I would pay before Sam Darnold, to answer your question. So,
Bryce, how would you go about it if you were the GM? What would you be prioritizing? The players on defense or JSN, Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker?
Well, that's the thing, man. It comes down to what the GM's convictions are. If you really truly believe that the secret sauce of the defense is Mike McDonald, you can churn out some more defensive players then, right? You can replace those guys in the draft if Mike McDonald is mastermind y'all selling me on, right? As far as like the Darnold JSN thing, you know how like they always say like a receiver is just as good as his quarterback? Well, for Darnold, it works in reverse, all right? Darnold as a quarterback is only as good as his best receiver, okay? And he went from Justin Jefferson to JSN. And I would say because of that, JSN is the larger priority, in my opinion, on offense. Got to have him if Darnold's going to work.
True.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm agree with what Bryce is saying. Get back from the original roster, from the rookie contract. They literally did the new Patriots way. And like, whereas like they believe in the head coach defensive scheme. Like, you do what you've been doing. You sign guys in the offseason. You pay them damn near almost bare minimum or just a little bit above it. and you keep it rolling on that end. And yeah, you just got to pay JSN. JSN is your number one target where you have to pay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Patriots because we've been talking a lot about defensive-minded coaches. Mike Vrabel will fall into that category. I'm remiss for not mentioning his name earlier when we were talking about that. What are y'all's thoughts on the Patriots? They had a hell of a season, albeit an easy schedule. Got to the Super Bowl though, and then ultimately got their asses kicked. Was this more bad Patriots or good Seahawks? It's New England.
Good Seahawks. Like, I'm not gonna undermine this Seattle's defense. They held it down for the first 3 quarters. And that says a lot. And then when you think about the Patriots, can they come back? I mean, shit, Joe Burrow hasn't gone back. So that says a lot. And can they make it back? I think they could because for some odd reason, Josh Allen and the Bills got a black cat whenever they get into the playoffs. And then you talking about the Broncos. The Broncos are still a legit team. They didn't have Bo Nix this time. Let's say Bo Nix is healthy, then what? That's the what if. And then you got Patrick Mahomes coming back around. So this is going to be a competitive side. I think. Do I think the Patriots could be back in the next 5 years? No, maybe in the next 7.
Bryce, man, what are your thoughts on was this more good Patriots or bad Patriots, good Seahawks, and do the Patriots make it back?
Bro, it was bad May. That's what it was. It reminded me a lot of the issue that the Texans had earlier in the playoffs, right? Where, I mean, if your quarterback gives you a nothing burger, you don't got a shot, especially in the Super Bowl. I mean, let's not forget the game was 9-0 for hella long, bro. like coming out of halftime, hypothetically, if the Patriots would have scored a touchdown, the game would have been 9-7 after getting dominated for 30 minutes. Straight dominated, could have had it at 9-7. But Drake May couldn't put anything together, bro. And that's bad Drake May. As good as the Seahawks defense was, they had an advanced stat out that showed that both Drake May and Sam Darnold had the exact same time to throw, right? So they both had I think it was 2.64 seconds or something like that. Just Darnold did a little bit more than May in the first half with his time, and Darnold was only 9 for 22. May just was all-time bad in the Super Bowl, if you ask me. Didn't find any sort of spark until the second half, and you're just not going to win like that. You're not going to win like that when you've been an MVP candidate for the entire season, and part of the reason your team made the playoffs, and you just don't show up. So it's hard for me even to spread too much blame around. I didn't think the Patriots defense was horrible. They also didn't get any of those splash plays I felt like they had been used to over the last few weeks, kind of towards the end of the season. Special teams, defensive plays. And one more thing I got to say, bro. Fucking Vrabel rah-rah ass didn't help, bro. How many 4th and 1s you going to pass up, bro? They had 4th and 1 in the 45. Didn't go for it. Another 4th and 1 I think was the 38-yard line, so that's a little debatable. But, bro, you in the Super Bowl, bro. It's a 9-0 game. Go for the 4th and 1, bro. But that's just a coaching error. I felt like I was peeping kind of early. I thought the Patriots were a little too timid the entire game. I would say it's both good Seahawks and bad Patriots, but most of all, it's bad Drake May.
So with that said, Mike Vrabel, you guys make it back?
Hell no, that shit is cooked. That Mike Vrabel shit is about to be over, and they're gonna replace him with a offensive-minded head coach. Guarantee you. Shit, it might be Bill Belichick's little henchman. What's his name? Josh McDaniel. It might end up being him. That Vrabel shit is cooked. Mark my words.
So McDaniel is the OC. He was the one calling them offensive plays.
Yeah,
and he didn't get Drake May where he needed to be in this game.
Bro. Did y'all see what Drake May was on? Could have been John Madden calling the plays. That shit didn't matter.
I don't know, man. You got to help. Drake May is a second-year quarterback. I can't put all that on him. I'm putting some of that on the play caller for sure.
Nah.
When you throwing the ball into the dirt, ain't nothing else a play caller can do for you, bro.
Drake May had the best pass in the whole game. That touchdown that he threw was the best throw of the entire Super Bowl.
it was also his only good pass of the whole game.
Right, and that pass, we can check the group chat. That pass got them back in the game. Everybody was sending eye emojis and saying, "Hold on." And then what did the Patriots defense do? Nothing. They did nothing to keep the momentum.
The defense ended up getting them the ball back. They got him the ball back, bro. Like it was ended up being a.
Didn't they get another field goal?
Yeah, they got another field goal. Okay, held them to a field goal.
Yeah, they extended the lead.
But yeah, held them to a field goal, bro. Like you in the game. That's all you can ask for your defense is to hold them to a field goal, bro. What did Drake May do? End up giving a pick six to a D lineman. Like, bro, when you throwing the ball at your receiver's feet, you overshooting. He had Austin Hooper on the corner route, bro. Nobody within 20 yards, bro. What did he do?
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
It was bad. So you gonna blame that on Josh McDaniel? Scheme the man wide open. You just overshooting him. Drake May wasn't ready for the moment. It is what it is, bro. But I still believe in Drake May. But I do think the Vrabel show will come to an end pretty soon. He bought himself a couple seasons.
I think the Patriots could have leaned a little bit more in them backs. The same way that the same way that Kubiak saw Darnold wasn't hitting wide open guys, he started handing it to Kenneth Walker. I think New England could have benefited from some of the same. Jump in here, though, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with Bryce, but Drake May was hot dog shit out there, bro. He was horrible. You know what I'm saying? And y'all talk shit about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts played a lot better in the fucking Super Bowl in his second year. This bum ass Drake May.
Become a topic of conversation.
He's a topic of conversation because this dude was in the same boat. Like second year, this dude was supposed to be the MVP. Y'all said y'all was just all y'all run the tape up. Run the tape on Rome was talking up Drake May. He was, oh yeah, he's been so great. I told you I haven't been impressed by the guy. All right, I haven't been impressed, and I'm still not impressed. I was vindicated, as you would say, right? Vindicated. I said what needed to happen in order for them to win the game. Drake May needs to win the game. Not only did he not win the game, he might as well not even came to the game. All right. I think Jared Stidham probably could have had a better game than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? Last week or 2 weeks ago, there was bad weather. There was no bad weather, but he still played the same. You know what I'm saying? The only good throws, any production he had was in garbage time, bro. Drake May was bad. Now, the moment was clearly too big for him, but, like, with all due respect, the kid was only 23 years old. He's in way over his head. The Patriots were way ahead of schedule, right? They were not supposed to be here, bro. And let me go back to what I said last week. The easiest schedule in the NFL, all right? The easiest schedule in the NFL. Most of the coaches that they played along the way are fired, all right? And the ones that weren't fired was Aaron Glenn. So he almost got fired. So it's like, come on, bro. They had the easiest schedule in the NFL. And then they played C.J. Stroud threw the game away for them against them. And then the next game, it was a snowstorm with the backup quarterback. And then they finally played a decent football team. And I'm just saying decent, bro. A decent football team, bro. And they got destroyed, demolished, bad. So I don't know about the whole firing the coach thing. I agree. He definitely caught. You know, if anything, they say, man, you did way better than we expected, like this season, like for real. So he's good. He's playing with house money. But yeah, Drake May, he got to redeem himself, bro. That's bad. That's bad. He need to go have some workshops with Tom. But Tom probably not fucking with him because he with the Raiders now. So, you know, I don't know. So to answer your question, are they going to be back? Probably not anytime soon. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. They're not going to make the playoffs next year, bro. Because they're going to play a first-place schedule next year. Not that bum-ass schedule they played this season.
Who's a decent team that they played?
None of them, except for the Bills.
They didn't play no real good teams to the playoffs.
Are you saying they just played a decent team right here in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm saying the Seahawks are a decent team. I don't think they're that good. I think they're decent. I think they're pretty good, but I don't think they're that good.
14-3,
who's the best team
defense,
then? Who should have been there then?
I think anyone would beat them. I think anybody in the NFC would have beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
No.
I think the Bears would have beat them. I think the Eagles would have beat them. I think the Rams would have beat them.
Eagles wouldn't have beat shit.
The Eagles would beat shit. Come on, man. Stop the cap.
Super Bowl MVP.
Patriots trash, man. Patriots ain't that good.
This man gonna call the Seattle Decent. Get outta
Decent
here,
team,
man.
bro. Decent team. I'll tell you what. Now you
So
know
you
what?
saying
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
would
no,
beat
no, no, no,
Seattle?
no.
Decent team is insane. That defense
Decent
is
team.
top
That's
tier.
insanity.
Decent
right
team.
there.
Guess what? Guess what? If Zach Charbonnet didn't fall on that fumble in the end zone 4 weeks ago, they'd be a 5 seed. They probably would have got booted in the first round. So let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about it for real, bro. Very circumstantial path as well, bro. They got the right perfect storm, bro. And they played against a bum-ass team in the Super Bowl, bro. Sam Darnold give you 12 points against a real football team. You're going to lose.
Well,
Just saying, bro.
didn't they like destroy the 49ers to get the first seed? Didn't they beat San Francisco? I don't think San
49ers
Francisco
aren't
even
that
scored. The 49ers didn't even score a tud in that game.
49ers aren't that good.
That's
So the
the only. This is
49ers
my
are not
biggest
that good.
pushback
You
right
guys
here,
are not
bro.
that good. Y'all ain't beat them.
You can say
Okay,
what you want
whatever.
about Sam Darnold and
They're not that good either. I'm just saying,
and-
bro.
You know what they say, man? A dead clock is right twice a day. And this is a dead clock talking to us right now,
Compared
man.
to other
I'm
teams that have been in the
good.
Super Bowl, they're
I'm
not that
good.
good, bro. They're not
I'm
that good, bro.
Yeah, you know what? You're
Bro,
right.
this defense was historically good this season. They were
They're
literally
not that
on par
good.
with
They played a
with
bum-ass
the Legion
team,
of
bro.
Boom.
They played a bum-ass team, bro. The Rams would have beat their ass, too.
They played the Rams twice this season. Did the Rams beat their ass? What? The
I'm
Rams
talking
beat them by
about the
1
Patriots,
point.
bro. Anybody would have beat the Bears would have won the Super Bowl against the Patriots, bro. The Packers would have won against the Patriots. Anybody would have beat the Patriots, bro. I promise you that, bro.
No. I don't believe it.
I don't know about the Packers or the Eagles. I'll give you that.
Patriots are not good, bro. The AFC was trash.
But I think we're all in agreement here, though. The Patriots aren't making it back unless they get some wholesale changes on offense.
They do need a receiver, man. Stephon Diggs isn't a number one receiver.
They just need Drake May not to shit the bed. Like, I mean,
what are we talking about?
We're not going to pretend like Drake
where's
May
where's the
has
blame
hella
for
weapons,
Drake May?
bro.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
we're not
we
going to
need
see
to get
every
a receiver.
Patriots have the number
Hold
one.
on. Bryce literally said Sam Darnold is as good as his best receiver, and his best receiver is a top 10, top 5 receiver. We can't do the same for Drake May. We can't. Drake May's best receiver is like top 15, top 20.
No, it ain't about the
Like, I'm not
receivers. He needs to
disagreeing.
play good quarterback. He played like shit, bro. He was playing like shit. He couldn't complete the passes. He had no poise. He sucked.
I mean,
what
what
was Sam Darnold without a JSN?
But wrong. Sam Darnold wasn't an MVP this season. Drake May was your MVP, and when he got to the big dance, he didn't play like an MVP.
All right, Bryce. You know who was my MVP the year before? Jaden Daniels. And you know what we both said Jaden Daniels needs? More weapons, bruh. Like I don't like just because Drake May did it without weapons doesn't mean that he doesn't need weapons, bruh. Like if I watch a motherfucker slay a dragon with a club, I'm gonna be like, oh, you can probably slay 2 dragons with a sword.
I hear that. I don't know. I mean, it could have been Randy Moss on that corner route.
Didn't matter.
Randy Moss would ran that corner route, but that ball was so far overthrown that shit ain't matter.
You could have had Jerry Rice on one side, Randy Moss on the other.
Man, I don't care what weapon you had out there on Sunday. All right, buddy.
Drake May was dog shit, bro.
Clock right now, man.
Dog shit, bro. Drake May played like shit, bro.
I mean, now, one thing I will say about Drake May Rome's defense, right? I think it was less weapons and more O-line, right? Will Campbell was a turnstile out there.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? He gave up the most pressures in Super Bowl history. He gave up 12 pressures, bro. That's wild. It's messed up because they keep going back to his draft interview. He said, I would die on the field for Drake May. Yeah, you died all right, buddy. And then you got another one where he said, yeah, if you let up 2 sacks in the game, you might as well be working at Amazon.
So, yo, he said that? Oh no.
He said that, bro.
Oh no.
He said that. But yeah, that was bad. That was bad O-line play. But like I said, Drake May, Sam Darnold both had the same amount of time to throw the ball in the pocket, per the advanced metrics. One got it done, one did it. And hey, I ain't even gonna say one got it done. One was just a little better than the other one. Because like I told you on the group chat the night of the game, Sam Darnold wasn't playing all that well.
I would say the difference between them in the game is Sam Darnold's just more experienced. Like he's used to dealing with he's been in that situation. He's played bad plenty of times. Drake May, to y'all's point, he probably hasn't played that bad in a long time. And once that snowball effect starts rolling, it just goes downhill. So I agree that he could have played better. I wouldn't count Drake May out though. I don't know if the Patriots make it back with Vrabel, but Drake May is one of them quarterbacks. I don't think we can just discard Drake May after one bad Super Bowl performance. Drake May
Let's
is
not
going to
forget
be in
Jalen Hurts
that
had a bad
conversation.
first Super Bowl performance.
What are you talking about? He had a great first Super Bowl performance.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. You tripping, bro?
Here we go with Jalen Hurts.
Nah, you tripping, bro. He had a great game.
All right, man. Anything else on the Super Bowl before we move on now?
304 passing yards, 70 yards rushing, and 4 touchdowns is a bad game. And you're
Yeah,
talking about
because they
Drake
didn't
May?
win it. It didn't win it. It didn't win it. Did it win it?
Yeah, let's put it in perspective, bro. So if we gonna say that's a bad game, Drake May shouldn't even be fucking playing the NFL. Fuck out of here.
Drake May in the fourth quarter threw for over 200 yards.
Bro, 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, bro. Drake May didn't do shit, bro.
A loss is a loss.
He actually almost was.
There you go.
He was never
A
in the game.
loss.
Drake May was never in the game, bro. Drake May played like garbage, bro.
All right, man. All right. Keeping it pushing from the NFL. Unless anybody any other takes y'all want to get off right quick. We got a long off season, so I'm sure we'll revisit some of this. But keeping it pushing, man, to the NBA. NBA had a lot of trade movement going on, some non-trades that occurred that were pretty interesting too. But I got to start with what I think was the biggest trade of the whole deadline, and that was AD and company going to the Wizards. So I got to kick that one to Bryce, man, because I feel like it changed the wave of basketball down here in DC, man. So what does this mean for the future of the Wizards, Bryce?
It only changed the way for the fake fans. All right, Ron? I ain't saying no names either. All right? It ain't nothing for me, okay? Because I've been telling y'all boys, going on 3 seasons now, it's a new era in DC. We got the Thunder East building over here, right? And the reason I say that is because of who's running the team right now. Michael Winger, Will Dawkins, these are folks that came from the Thunder, specifically Will Dawkins. Had a big part in helping to build that current OKC roster. This guy knows what he's doing, and the way he's building a team is it's been pretty fun to watch. From the assets that he's accumulated over the past 3 seasons, to the veterans he's brought in, to the way he's flipped those veterans for either like more assets or for cap relief, to be able to have the flexibility to maneuver down the line. It's been a masterful job by Will Dawkins. My only fear now is that like one of these other NBA teams are going to try to promote Will Dawkins to their like president of operations and like, snag him away from being our GM. Because man, what he's building is special. We haven't had this much young talent playing this well in a very long time. I know the record is still laughable, but once you see AD walk through the door, people start to take you a little more serious, right? And the beauty of this acquisition of AD, and I throw Trae Young in there as well, is that like these acquisitions are not our ceiling, right? Like these acquisitions are not even our long-term solution. Outside looking in might think that, but the way Dawkins is building the team, these acquisitions are basically just like the 2.0 of bringing in CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton, right? Trae Young and AD are just that 2.0. They're not there to take us to where we eventually plan to be. They're just there to continue to usher along this process. It wouldn't be a shock to me if we ended up flipping AD in a year or 2 and getting crazy value from him. So I've just been super impressed with Will Dawkins, man. They need to build him a statue when it's all said and done because he's getting my team. He's getting my team in the right direction, man.
We getting statues for going forward now. We getting statues for hitting the gas pedal, and we off the parking spot. Let's build a statue.
No, I say when it's all said and done. See, the problem with y'all, and I tell y'all this all the time, y'all boys is always late. The good mister tries to tell y'all things way before you could ever even envision it. All right, and y'all always think it's hilarious at the time, bro. And then the good mister spins the block. You know what the good mister does? He winds the window down. I told you so.
What is the good Mr. driving? The good Mr. driving the old school, like 90s window.
It always happens. I can go through so many of these times where I told y'all boys what was what. Y'all just couldn't see it, man. And I've been telling y'all about the Wizards now since we hired Dawkins, and coming to fruition.
Nah, I mean these are great moves. I can't really hate on the moves at all. They got me excited for the Wizards for the first time in a long time. But as usual, though, I think Bryce is leading this hope train, and I don't know if I'm ready to get on the train just yet. And he's talking a good talk.
Your text
but
messages say otherwise, wrong.
but let's see if Scruff can bring us back to a more realistic place though here. So Scruff, in reality, because you're a big basketball guy, you're plugged in. Does this move really make the Wizards a big play in the East next season?
Yeah, I mean, it raised the floor for sure. I agree with Bryce that it is like a. I agree with some of what he said. Like I agree that the young core is still the young core, and this is kind of like when you bring in some veterans to kind of accelerate the process. So basically, what you got now is like you accelerated the process, right? You baking in the oven. And then you brought some ready-made main courses. You brought that Popeyes fried chicken on the table. You know what I'm saying, to go with the sides and all the other stuff you've been cooking in the oven and shit, the cornbread and all the other pizzas and shit. The only thing you better hope that chicken don't get cold by the time them long baked items is still being cooked. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I mean, you can't get too excited about something that's not going to really manifest until next season. So it's really something that you're going to be looking at the future for. These guys aren't really going to play this season. You know what I mean? But that's part of the beauty of it is it's the most, I mean, shout out my dog. We talk about Will Dawkins. Shout out my guy, Sam Hinkie, talking about people being ahead of their time, man. If people would have just actually trusted the process and actually let the tank, you feel me? Like, shout out to Will Dawkins for letting the tank, bro. Because it's like, if we could build up, it's very much a precision tank. Because it's like, build this thing up. We got pieces ready for next season, but we're still tanking this season. Don't get it tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I like that. And then from a basketball standpoint, you get a guy like Trae Young. The biggest critique on Trae Young was that he was a liability on defense, right? He can't guard anybody. Well, guess what? You got AD and you got Alex Sarr, two of the best shot blockers in the NBA. You know what, Trey? Just fucking let them pass you, bro, because you got two of the best shot blockers in the NBA coming up there, bro. Good luck. Good fucking luck, bro. So I like the basketball fit because you got two of the best shot blockers in the NBA, and you got Trae Young, who's just going to let the guys pass him. So that actually helps a big issue there. And then the rest of the team actually not bad on defense. So, actually, they might be actually a pretty good team. You put it all together. Now, AD, let's be honest, bro. That man is not healthy often, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? And I've also heard some rumblings. I won't say too much, but I'll just say I heard some rumblings from reliable sources that maybe he's not really feeling DC like that. He don't even want to be there. It's kind of what I heard. We'll see.
It's cap, bro. It's cap.
Hear that? I know you don't hear that, but that's what I heard.
That's straight cap, bro.
All right, G, before I kick it to you, I want to remind you, because I'm probably going to clip this. At the start of the NBA season, you came on this very show and said that the entire NBA and the world needs to put more respect on one Trae Young. Now that Trae is on the Wizards, are you keeping that same energy?
I am. I fuck with Trae Young, but this whole narrative that AD is going to be worth fucking first round picks, I don't smoke enough krills to believe that bullshit Bryce was just spewing over here. We could flip him for a lot of more picks and more picks and more picks. Man, you saw what DC had to give up for him. If Dallas didn't want much back, they're like, yo, man, just get him off. Just get him out of here. And I suddenly even want to play for you guys. They say he's going to play. He's not going to play. It's a toss of a coin. He might play, might not play. I mean, what the fuck is going on with AD? I mean, but I do love Trae Young, and you guys might fuck around and get the first pick overall. So, I mean, there's a lot going your way if you're in your DC right now. Like, if you're DC right now, you're like, it's looking bright over there.
It's called buy low, G. All right, this is what you need to understand, man.
Yeah, but no one's gonna buy. No, you buy low don't mean the next team is gonna go buy high.
All right, cool. But we paid more for Anthony Davis than we did for Trae Young. So what you got to understand is when you're buying low, you're playing on what you call rehabilitating a player, bro. We're gonna bring AD in. We're gonna feature him. We're going to give him this 20 shots a game. And all of a sudden, he's going to be averaging that 24 and 10 again. He's going to look like a star again.
Yeah,
Now
for like
it's time
15 games, ain't gonna break a toe.
No, but you got to put it in perspective, though, G. You looking at it from like the direct trade, like, okay, yeah, they traded 2 first-round picks, I think it was, or something like that. But in reality, what really happened was they traded Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma for AD and Trae Young and hella picks. So that's really what it came down to. They actually did what he's saying, which is like they did flip guys. They flipped CJ McCollum. They flipped all of those guys, bro. They kept doing it, bro. So yeah, in reality,
forget it started with, and this is a perfect example I'll give you, right? Remember couple seasons ago, the Wizards brought in Jordan Poole, right?
Right.
And everybody was laughing at Jordan Poole after the first season he had. But what did they do? They didn't get rid of Jordan Poole after he had a rough first season. They featured him even more. You know why you feature him even more? Because someone's going to start believing in him if that stock rises. And that's exactly what happened. We were able to flip him to the Pelicans, which allowed us to get CJ McCollum, who's an expiring contract, that then allowed us to get Trae Young. So it's chess, not checkers, when you're playing at the level that Will Dawkins is. It's masterful, bro. It's like it's some of the craziest GMing I've ever seen, bro. And it's like, I hate to say this because it's gonna sound crazy, but Will Dawkins might be a generational talent of being a GM, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
this is truthfully my problem with the Wizards, bro. Like, we're celebrating generational GM, and I'm not saying that Will Dawkins don't deserve the credit. I'm not saying that you're wrong in any of the things that you're saying. I'm saying I'm ready for it to start translating on the court. Him making all these moves, they are all the right moves, but that just builds anticipation and expectation. So come next year, I'm gonna need to see it. I'm gonna need to see it on the court.
Once, if you're the guy that can't call it until it's translating on the court, you're the guy that just states the obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's translating.
No, I'm not even saying that I'm trying to call it. I'm saying as someone who would love to cheer for the Wizards after years of them being complete ass, it's time. Like it's time to win more than 15, 20 games a year.
I'll say this too. Like, honestly, bro, like, I think a lot of folks are getting like built up about next season for the Wizards. As a Wizards fan, I am not, right? Like, honestly, if we lost another 50 games next season, 60 games, I would be cool with that. I wouldn't even be tripping because I already see what's being built, bro. Like, so
when is it going to be done being built though, bro? Like that's the thing. Like, are we going to be celebrating GM moves for the next 2-3 years before we get a winner?
Good things take time, bro.
We started drafting 19 and 20-year-olds, right? So like when Will Dawkins got in 2020, 2024, 2023, 2024, the first pick was Bilal Coulibaly, who was 18 at the time. He's now 21. So like if you're expecting 21-year-olds to turn your team around, like that's not really how the NBA works, right?
No, what I'm saying is if we wait 3 to 4 years and it's a first round exit, like what do we wait for? Is what I'm saying.
The peak of this joint is like
exactly what you wait for. I mean, look at a team like the Thunder, bro. Do you know what they went through after getting rid of?
Yeah, it took a hot minute.
And Russell Westbrook. You know how many years it was?
It took a hot minute.
Paul George. They went like, bro, like the shit is not supposed to happen overnight. And if it happens overnight, you did it the same way the Wizards have been trying to do, where you just piecing some shit together to be a play-in, to be a 5th seed, to be a 7th seed. That shit is not sustainable. But if you're trying to build something sustainable in the NBA, it starts with young guys, bro, and rearing them up from young to being 26, 27. Come to me when like Keyshawn George and Bilal Coulibaly and Will Riley, when they're 26, 27 years old, if we still trash, then I'll be like, you know what, Rome, you're right, man. This shit didn't work. But like by that time, they would have played so many playoff games. They would have had so many good veterans on their team. They're gonna be through so much. They're gonna be OKC East, bro. Straight up. Unless somebody pries Will Dawkins from us, then fuck everything.
I mean, I don't know about all the proclamations, but I'll say like you definitely the peak of the situation is gonna be when the core young guys are like in their mid-20s. I agree with that. Like when Sarr's like 25, they probably gonna be really good by then. Like,
bro, Sarr is second in the league in blocks, and he's 20.
Yeah, he's
No,
still
I'm not.
just
I'm definitely not
scratching
saying
the
it needs to
surface.
be a microwave type of
Maybe
fix.
even plus.
I'm just saying if you're waiting for something to come out the oven and it comes out burnt, you're gonna be very disappointed. That's all I'm saying. But keeping it pushing in the NBA though, let's talk about some of the. We already talked about the Harden trade a little bit last week. Let's talk about some of the trades that didn't occur. One trade that a lot of people were sure was going to happen was Giannis was going to end up somewhere out of Milwaukee. He's still in Milwaukee, as well as John Morant still in Memphis. What happened there, and how do you think these sagas end? Because I definitely can't see Josh staying in Memphis after the season. So, Scruff, man, how do you see those situations panning out?
I don't know. I'm sick of this shit, though. I'm sick of this Giannis shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really am. I'm sick of it. Like, because I feel like I kind of like had a feeling in the back of my head too. It wasn't gonna happen too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, and then he really pissed me off, bro, with that Wolf of Wall Street shit. Like, oh, I'm coming back. Like, fuck you, bro. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of hearing about that shit, bro. And it's like, oh, I would never ask for a trade. And then it's like, oh, now I'm gonna ask for a trade. Now I'm coming back. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, fuck you, bro.
And remember Scruff was like, I think Philly might make a run at Giannis.
Hey, bro. No. Real talk,
why
bro.
he
Real
mad,
talk.
boy.
Nah, real talk. No, I'm not worried about that. Honestly, like, I didn't really want Giannis. My biggest thing was I had a major issue. We talking about trades. The trade that happened that I had a major issue was we traded Jared McCain to the Thunder. Like, why are we even trading with the Thunder, bro? Why do people even pick up that guy's phone calls, bro? Like, why would we do that, right? Why would we trade Jared McCain? He was just promising rookie for us. And now we just all of a sudden have too many guards, and we just giving them away to OKC.
What do you think about the GM's comments where he said you guys sold high?
Think he's a fucking asshole. Like, what are you talking about, bro? He sold high. You was gonna sell him high. You should have sold him off in the off season, bro. He was one of the better rookies last season, bro. I thought it was dumb, bro. You don't trade off shooters like that when you're trying to make a playoff run, bro. To OKC, bro. He's gonna play well for OKC. I promise you that. But yeah, no, that's really what I was trying to rationalize why the hell we would trade him. And I'm like, there's got to be something else. And he said there was, we were working on something that didn't materialize, I guess. But then again, in the words of James Harden, Daryl Morey is a liar. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But nah, Giannis, I'm sick of Giannis. I'm sick of the trade shit. I want to hear from him again. I don't want to hear shit about nothing from Giannis. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, what are they doing over there? I don't know. Because it's like, the team sucks. With the big move was you brought in Cam Thomas. Ooh, yeah, really doing something over there. They better tank the rest of the season, bro. That's the only way that maybe they can land a good pick. Otherwise, I don't see what they're doing, bro. And honestly, for the Bucks, I hope Giannis just leaves in free agency. They get nothing.
That would be ridiculous. Giannis, in my opinion, and I'm sure most of y'all agree, top 5 player in the league, like no question. So
they playing around, bro. Like I don't care what anyone says.
Superior talent.
Giannis don't want to be there, or what? If he doesn't want to be there, like if he keep going back and forth, fuck him, trade him anyway, bro. Like I don't want no back and forth motherfuckers out here. If you don't want to be here, if you have any inclination you want to be here, leave. Like you know what I'm saying? We don't want you around here, bro. Like come on, bro.
Nah,
I get it.
That's
no, but that's that.
You make bad GMs, man. Because hey, you got an asset like Giannis, bro. I wouldn't trade him unless they gave me the farm, bro. If nobody was offering the farm, yeah, get used to Milwaukee, buddy. Straight up, like, you're not going nowhere, bro. You better leave the league and go back to Greece if you want to play basketball. You're not playing nowhere in the NBA unless it's for Milwaukee. If I'm the GM, unless somebody gives me 3 first-round picks and 2 legitimate young stars, like I'm just not trading Giannis. I don't care, bro. Like he's too good. It's not like he's an AD where he's been hurt so much that the value's plummeted, right?
Yeah,
it's Giannis. You'd be a fool to trade him, dog, in my opinion.
The thing, though, is hard to trade guys like Giannis because it's hard to get the type of assets back in return, bro. Like the teams that had the assets that were equitable for the Bucks, they didn't want to break up their entire core to get Giannis. You know what I mean?
Then you're basically in the situation that the Bucks are.
That the Bucks are in, right? And then so the Bucks would be better off trying to build something around Giannis. Do y'all think that they can do that, or are they going to be on the 5-year wait plan like the Wizards?
I don't have any
nothing like the Wizards, buddy. All right.
They're nothing like the Wizards because they're more like the Wizards from 5 years ago. but with Giannis, because they just keep putting in fucking random guys. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna put Kevin Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas in here.
I agree. And the problem with the Bucks is that they mortgage their future to try to find fits for Giannis instead of like supplementing Giannis with their assets, bro. Like you got these draft picks, draft well and build around Giannis. Let's not forget how they got Giannis. Giannis was like what, the 13th pick, 14th. It's not like he was a top 3 pick, bro. So like you've done it before. You found value late in the draft. Like build around him with draft picks. Don't just get Miles Turner and try to tell the fan base that y'all did something. Like
right. They plugging and playing, bro. I don't think they playing. They're not thinking holistically, bro. Like I don't like the way they building their team, bro. I agree with Bryce.
But it's also the problem with that though is like these superstars, bro. When they're at the end of their basketball life, they looking around like you got to give me somebody to play with. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you got to give me somebody. Like I need it's like the GM is in a tough spot because he's trying to simultaneously build the team, but also make the star happy. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough spot to be in, bro. It's a tough spot to be in.
Now you made a good you call something out. Good call out there, Bryce. Because if you look at the Bucks and you look at besides Giannis, name one player the Bucks have drafted that's good.
There you go.
Yikes.
And then if you look at it,
Middleton, they never drafted Middleton?
No.
I don't
he came out of the G League.
But he's not on them right now, though. But even if you look at it, if you look at them now, right? Giannis was the 15th pick, right? If you look at the Bucks, who's been the best player on the Bucks this season outside of Giannis? It's been young boy at the point guard, and that's a young boy, bro. Like his name is slipping me right now. He was actually on the Wizards for a little stint. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, we don't.
I know you don't. You don't watch the NBA. Ryan Rollins.
I don't watch Milwaukee.
You talking about Rollins?
I'm talking about Ryan Rollins, bro. Like, and Ryan Rollins probably been the second best player on the Bucks this year. Ryan Rollins is 23. So, like, these are the players you need to be building around with Giannis.
We'll tell you what it was.
Somebody was watching the Ryan Rollins highlights. But yeah, man, team building in the NBA is interesting. And then, honestly, bro, before we get off the NBA, I got a question for y'all, man, because like we've seen some shameless tanking this year in the NBA. Now, don't get me wrong, bro. Tanking's been a thing now for the last few seasons, but like recently, it's kind of gotten like out of control. And I would even say my team has been a culprit. But like when you talk about, I mean, like I don't just mean like tanking. I mean like the shameless tanking where you're up 25 in a game, so you bench all your good players and end up losing the game by 3. Like that's what the Jazz just did. That's like shameless tanking. So like I got a couple like theories where I feel like a couple ideas that I feel like could change this. But I wonder what y'all think about just like the overall tank environment right now, bro, and how these teams feel like if they don't tank, they've got no shot at changing their franchise. And is it the NBA's problem or is it the team's problem? Because to me, it feels like it's a problem that the NBA created, and they're trying to like now blame the teams for exploiting this loophole that they created.
Nah, that's an excellent question, Bryce. And you probably already know my answer. I hate tanking. I hate tanking in every sense of the way. But to your point, you can't really blame the teams because if you want to eventually become a good team, you kind of need to tank. But I think it kills the sport. I think it kills TV deals. I think like if I'm not betting on the game, why would I want to watch the Wizards game? Like you said, like they could be up 20, they're gonna bench everybody and lose on purpose. So where's the excitement? Why would I want to go watch my city's team do that? And it wouldn't be as bad if, it was 1 team, 2 teams a season. But it seems like you got like 3 or 4 teams every year that are like, hey, not only do we need to tank, we need to out tank the other team. like
y'all think tanking was bad before? Boy, y'all about to see the worst tanking ever this season, bro. This tanking this season's about to get nasty, bro. Nasty tanking.
Started, bro.
You said 3 or 4 teams, bro. There's gonna be like 8 to 10 teams, bro, tanking, bro. Like,
I mean, I'm looking at it right now in the East. There's 3 teams with not even 20 wins. Like,
Like just because
there's at
you're
least
bad,
7 to 8 teams. Yeah, I think you're
Bro,
right.
it's gonna be
because
a
you're
race
bad
to the
don't mean you're
bottom,
taking.
bro.
Some teams just gonna suck, right? But there are some teams right now that are shamelessly pulling their players, bro. Bama's has not
Absolutely.
hurt that are on the
Absolutely.
injury report. They not hurt at
Absolutely.
all. They just it's
Absolutely.
just shameless, dog.
The Jazz is definitely one of them.
The Jazz have been the Jazz. What the Jazz have done is like all time to be up 20 and then to pull all your players and not put your best players in the game for the rest of the game. And we've been doing it too. Like we've been benching. We beat it came back to bite us. We beat the Pistons after benching like all of our top guys. Wizards won a game against the Pistons with their backup squad in. And it's gonna bite some teams, but I feel like the only way the NBA can like change this shit is to do something radical. And hey,
Well, they
Well,
changed
they
the lottery
did.
up.
They already did it with the lottery.
brother.
The reason why the team doesn't win the lottery.
That's proven out to be radical enough. I'm gonna tell you why. Because like these teams still have incentive to be terrible at the end of the season, right? And they have incentive not to play well at all. Now, I would say what you do is once these teams are like mathematically eliminated, right, from playoff contention, or maybe just like the teams that are eliminated with the last 12 games of the season, 14 games of the season, bruh, they should be put into a play-in tournament. And the winner of that play-in gets the first pick. I bet everybody coaching their ass off then. I bet everybody's playing. Ain't gonna be no one on the injury report. Like make these teams earn the number one pick instead of having some random ass lottery that's really some bullshit like we already know. Put the worst 6 teams in a play-in tournament. Make it a gauntlet. Winner gets the number 1, second place gets the number 2 pick. That's how
I don't hate that because I think the tanking is at an all-time high, and that needs to change. So I don't hate that idea.
Nah, I mean, I hear you, man. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Tanking about to be. I don't got the solutions, but I'll tell you what. The Pacers are in a really good position, bro. Because they was just in the championship last year, and they about to end up with one of the top picks most likely. Wizards, Bucks in that same position too, bro. If I'm the Bucks, I'm shutting Giannis down for the season.
No, the Bucks aren't in that position. I don't think, right? Isn't their pick? Don't they have to get their pick up to somebody?
Really?
Maybe it's not them. Someone in the top 6 or 7 got to give their pick up to somebody. Can't remember who it is.
Clippers, I think.
Oh, okay.
Bucks hold their 2026 pick.
Damn, so they losing for
But
somebody
it's subject
else.
to a
Crazy.
pick swap with the Pelicans.
That's crazy. Any other NBA takes y'all want to get off before we get out of here? With the All-Star weekend coming up, it's a good time to look at the standings. Who are y'all favorites right now in the East and the West? Like, who do y'all see? Is there anybody that's being slept on? Maybe a team that is going to end up in the play-in that we should be watching? Scruff, I'm gonna start with you, man.
I mean, it's gonna sound stupid. I'm sounding like T Boogie when I say this, but the team that's being slept on the most is the Detroit Pistons. Ironically, the number 1 seed in the East. Nobody talking about Detroit Pistons until they just started clocking dudes. So that's the first time I really started people talking about them was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? For real. But they got the best record in the East, and I think they might have the best record. No, not quite the NBA, but close. They're not too far off behind the Thunder, and the Thunder actually tailing off a little bit because it's SGA hurt. So Pistons are a damn good basketball team, bro. This was supposed to be the year that the Knicks were supposed to win it, and then the Celtics actually have a better record than them, which is funny as hell. But the Pistons, I think, are the favorite possibly to win the East. East is wide open now. I think Cade Cunningham's playing crazy, like MVP level, I would say. But yeah, I mean the East is like really good, but it's wide open, bro. Because even though I say the Pistons is the favorite, but like Celtics is the 2 seed. And to me, like they're just as good as like the Sixers, who are 6 seed, or the Magic, who are a 7 seed. And like, you never want to play the Heat. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tyler Hero gets healthy, all of a sudden they might be a really good team. You know what I'm saying?
From 2 to 8 is pretty even. And
honestly, bro, we being completely honest, bro. Like, go down to 10, bro. Like, you don't really want to play the Hawks. I mean, not the Hawks, but Hawks not bad. But like, really. The Hornets playing some of the best basketball in the league right now. So, like, if we talking about sleepers, you don't want to play the Hornets, bro. Like, keep it a being with you. You don't want to play the big 3 of LaMelo Ball, Con Knibble, and Brandon Miller. You feel me? You don't want to play that big three. And then they just picked up Kobe White too, and Miles Bridges out here throwing hooks and shit. It's a tough team, bro.
G, who you keeping your eyes on leading up into the playoffs?
The Sixers, because if Paul George come back off the juice, I think they're gonna make the playoff run. And Embiid, matter of fact, he should give Embiid some juice, man, for them weak ass knees. Pause. But give me the Sixers. All jokes aside, from the East and from the West, man. I know they have never done nothing, but Wembanyama, man. I think I want to see what Wemby does during this playoff run. If he's dominant in the first round, I think the Spurs have a chance, have a high chance of making it to the finals. Because they have OKC's number. OKC can't find a way to beat these guys. Like literally, like Chat. Like I remember people talking about Chat and Wemby was supposed to be some kind of rivalry, and now that's just looking on one-sided this year.
Yeah, no bullshit. Let me throw one more out here. They ain't gonna do shit in the playoffs, but I want to give some respect to somebody who people be clowning and acting like he a bum. I want to put some respect on. Somebody got to put some respect on this guy named Dylan Brooks, bro. I know people think he a clown, and people saying he should. Oh yeah, you better learn Chinese, buddy. It's all funny jokes on the internet, but in reality, this man, anywhere he goes, he turns the team into a winning team. The Suns were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. Jalen Green was their big pickup that they picked up. And he ain't really been playing. He mostly been playing with Drea is what he been doing. He ain't been doing shit.
Wow.
Dylan Brooks balling out though. And something about him, bro. He turned the culture around. Because if you're being honest, bro, the Grizzlies ain't really been that good since they got rid of him. And he was actually pretty good on the Rockets too. And the fact that they're 10 games above 500, didn't see that coming. So yeah, I would say that's a big surprise team. And I want to talk about a team that's absolutely bad, terrible, disgusting. Like I don't even like watching them play. The Lakers. Terrible. Terrible.
So I watched them the other night, man. I gotta agree. It was ugly.
Terrible.
Bron, and I was gonna save this for another topic another time, man. But Bron looked like he need to hang it up to me, man. Like I hate to see a superstar not still be a superstar. Like he don't look like Bron, and maybe he's saving it. Maybe he's trying to turn the superpowers on at the right time.
21 years in the league, some shit like that. What is 23, 24?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's time. Like I wouldn't be mad at him. Like I don't like what I'm seeing from him or the Lakers as a whole.
No.
They still got Austin Rivers coming off the bench. I know he was hurt, but I don't know, man. I think it's just I don't like what I saw the other night.
Nah.
Bryce, man, who do you like as a sleeper lead into the playoff?
It's tough, man. One team that I think has got a good shot this year is the Denver Nuggets, man, and that's because they really had to learn to play without Jokic. I like what I'm seeing out of Peyton Watson. And I feel like when you have to play without your superstar and you're able to still hold it to a certain level, that's just going to benefit them down the line once Jokic gets back. And Jokic is having probably his best season as a pro so far. I mean, unbelievable season. The stats are ridiculous, and he seems like he's just getting much better on the defensive end. So I think that's going to serve them well. Playing without him for that extended period of time. So that's one team I'm watching out for is the Nuggets on the West side. The East, man, the East has been funny money this year, if you ask me. If I had to pick one team that I would say, like, I'm not so sold on the Pistons. Like they lost to the Wizards with their backups in. I can't be sold on that. I feel like the Knicks burn me every time, so I can't trust them. But it's something about James Harden and Donovan Mitchell that intrigues me, bro. Those two players on the same team. I know a lot of people feel like it should work, and maybe it doesn't. But a part of me feels like that could be a match made in heaven. So I'm gonna be watching the Cavs closely, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
Donovan Mitchell, James Harden meshes.
My sentiment warmed up on them a little bit.
You weren't feeling it at first.
No, I wasn't. And I mean, you never know. Like I said, the East is wide open. So, they are throwing shit to the wall. I still stand by that. They are throwing shit to the wall if it sticks, but it might stick. Who knows? I mean, you got a shot. I don't think it's gonna work, but you got a shot.
Yeah, I'm still not really feeling. I just don't have no reason to believe in it with the Cavs and James Harden. But that's the question was a sleeper. So
The math
that's a
makes
great
sense
answer for a sleeper.
because Garland wasn't really playing, and basically now you just have James Harden to plus, right? Assuming that he doesn't take away from the team in any way. So,
And James Harden is
big
the
assumption.
closer on this team. The closers we know we already know is Donovan Mitchell's team. James Harden just gets to come in and be kind of the sidekick. And then that young boy Jordan Tyson balling. Still got Mobley and Jared Allen as the defensive presences. I like it, bro. I like it.
All right, for sure, man. We definitely want to keep a close eye on the NBA, man. And next time we're back, we're gonna have to talk about All-Star Weekend and how we could improve it. Because I don't know what it was. Is it a tournament this year? Am I tripping?
I don't
The
even know.
same shit from last year.
I'm not even.
World's
I used to
team-
look forward to this shit.
West in the West.
It's the world. It's the world versus the U.S. Yeah.
I don't even
but
care.
remember,
Like
it's the
I'll
West and
tune
the
it in
East,
maybe.
and then the World's team.
I might not even
Yeah,
watch this shit, to be honest.
I'm gonna tune in, man. But the
think it's
All-Star
just-
games have died.
I think it's just 2 teams this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just
It's three.
they had enough international players they could have their own squad.
It's
G,
three.
you said
It's
it.
three.
You said it last year. G, the MLB easily got the best All-Star game right now. I don't know what the NFL, NBA doing.
Bro, I've been told you that, man. Baseball holds it down, man. The home run derby, and then you have the All-Star game where guys actually play the game.
Well, they got
Like,
incentive.
Yeah,
But,
because
well-
home field advantage, but that's the topic for another day.
yeah, we'll definitely have to dive into that though. Y'all know how we end every show, man. Sports for the culture.